Hello and welcome back to Wireman's Whimsy. Today I am going to make a card inspired by Tammy Wilson from Stamps, Paper, Scissors. I saw a post on Instagram and she had done something similar but using the Christmas season set with pine cones and that in it, and I thought I'd try it with the Sending Smiles set. So I'm using the flowers from Sending Smiles as well as the leaves and the greeting that says birthday wishes, and I've used the dies from there as well. This one I actually forgot to do all the scatter dots on it before I put it all together, and the scatter dots are from Forever Fern, and then the background goes through the Timber 3D embossing folder. So when I put this together, I moved these leaves out too far, and when I look at this is kind of, it's a little bit dark. So when I stamp it, I'm actually going to do it second value on this card and see what happens. I've also changed the greeting to the Smoky Slate instead of the Blushing Bride. And I've already stamped and cut out the flowers. So we will get started with this. So I'm going to start with some soft seafoam and the sprig of leaves. And I'm just going to kind of create a bit of a semicircle. The nice thing, the thing I really liked about this card that Tammy did is that it goes right to left. And I always do my cards left to right. So it was a bit of a challenge for me to kind of wrap my head around doing this the other direction. So it was quite an interesting exercise for me. So I appreciate the inspiration very much. So I'm just going to come in with second value, and I think this is going to be much softer, much more subtle. So, and as usual, you have to be careful when you're stamping away that you don't always stamp away in the same spot, because it will build up residual ink and then you'll end up stamping, your colors will get darker as you're stamping, even though it's second value. So that second value, that was done in Pool Party. So we've got Pool Party, Soft Seafoam, Blushing Bride, and Smoky Slate. So we're kind of ready now to do our scatter dots. So I'm going to pull out my Smoky Slate, and I'm just going to stamp away. Just how dark are they? I think they'll be okay first value. So I'm just going to come in and just sprinkle some around, maybe do some second value ones as well, just for that interest. I like using the scatter dots for interest. It just adds a layer to the card. One thing you do need to kind of be careful of, and I've kind of run into it here, is always doing them with the stamp in the same direction, because you end up with a pattern on your project. If you want a pattern on your project, that's fabulous. If you don't, just make sure that you're stamping in a different direction or holding the stamp in a different direction occasionally so that you don't end up with a pattern. So there we go. That's all done in Smoky Slate. Now I'm going to run it through the Timber embossing folder. So I'm just going to drop it in there like that, run it through, and it's going to make some noise because embossing folders have to go in spine edge first so that it doesn't distort and break the embossing folder. So we end up making a noise at the end. Okay, so let's pull this out of the folder. And right now we can actually add it right to our card front. If you have ribbon, you can wrap ribbon around this and then attach it, however you'd like to do it. Let's just drop that down like that. Okay, let's pick up the pace a little bit because I don't want this to be a really long video. And we're just going to put some small dimensionals on the back here, peel them off, and we're going to lay this down kind of right in the middle like that, and then we'll get out our flowers that have been pre-stamped and pre-cut. And it's all using the dies from the Sending Smiles set. The only one, the only stamp that I used that wasn't part of that set was the Scatter Dot one from Forever Fern. So I'm just going to pop these in, and you can put them wherever you like. I've done this a little bit closer together, so it's a little easier for me to place these. I don't want to cover up the birthday wishes, but maybe I'll pop this one down here. I don't want to cover up a lot. So just have a think about where you'd like your pieces. As you know, sometimes I place all my pieces before I actually put them down, and that works too. So I've got some brushed brass butterflies. I haven't used these little guys in a while. They are a favorite of mine. As you can tell, there's hardly any left on the sheet. I'm just going to pop some down, adds a little bit of bling, a little bit of interest, and there we go. We have a really nice birthday wishes card. The first one I did, a bit brighter, a bit bolder. This one much more soft and very, very subtle. So thank you so much for watching, and we will create together again soon.